Hi, this is Jerry Nagy, one of the managing members and head brewer at Against the Grain Brewery here in Louisville, Kentucky. Today we're going to do your self-guided beer tasting tour through our lineup that we have here to offer. So why don't we get started? We'll walk right over here to the bar, and as you can see, somebody has already poured all of my beers for me so that we can go through them and try them out. So let's start off with, first of all, the Knutschfleck Pils, which is a North German style Pilsner. It has 4.4% alcohol and 31 IBUs. So first of all, when we're tasting a beer, we usually look at the color first. So a lot of judges and beer tasters will use a white piece of paper to kind of look at the color a little better. But I don't like those white pieces of paper. Why don't we do something even whiter? I'm going to put this picture of Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag behind there and kind of, oh yeah, that's much better. They're very, very white. Okay, so you can see that the Pilsner is a nice light straw golden color. First of all, we're gonna smell it, and we get a nice aroma of German hops. We used German Spalt Select and Hallertau in this, so you're gonna get a nice floral aroma from that. Then we can go ahead and start drinking. Okay, very, very nice and light and crisp, light-bodied. The hops give it a nice, even bitterness, very well balanced. You're also getting just a little bit of yeast-derived characters and some sulfury flavors from that lager yeast. So, very nice beer right there. Like it. So let's move on to our next beer. Is the Covalent Blonde. Covalent Blonde is a Belgian-style blonde ale, and again, very light in color, slight straw. So we'll give it a sniff. Okay, all right. What do we smell? We smell some fruitiness, some phenolic, spicy, yeast-derived esters, and so let's start giving it a taste. Oh yeah, very crisp, very earthy and aromatic. Comes from the aromatic malts. There's Pilsner and wheat malt in here as well. We also use some English Nugget and German Select hops, really nice and dry. We also used some Belgian candy sugar in here to lighten the body and increase the alcohol. It has a very nice and dry finish. It's very well fermented, or fermented a lot of the sugars out of here. Most Belgian beers are very dry. Used a Belgian Abbey yeast in this as well. So very nice beer. 4.8% alcohol, 18 IBUs. And let's continue on with the Two-Wheel Death Machine. It's an American-style pale ale. Two-Wheel Death Machine was named that because of our chef, Reed Johnson, was involved in a motorcycle accident, so this is to tell him to stop driving motorcycles. So again, the American Pale Ale, we'll smell that. It's bursting with some citrusy Cascade hop aroma. It's from mainly Cascade hops in here. There's also a small portion of Columbus for bittering, another American hop. We can try drinking it. Oh, it's very nice. Have some nice pale and Vienna malt in here. Give it a nice malt backbone. A little bit of sweetness. No caramel malts in this. In fact, it's kind of a departure from most pale ales, it seems like, anymore. But the hops give it nice bitterness. It also has some little bit of toast and bready notes from the malt. But this is a hop-forward beer. American hops being featured in this 5.5% alcohol, 47 IBUs. So what's next? Well, let's try this one. This is the Fancy Lawyer Terms. A lot of story on the Fancy Lawyer Terms. We won't go into it right now. This is proprietary. Anyway, this is a French-style beer de garde. We can smell that. Oh yeah. We get just some caramel sweetness out of the nose. A little bit of hop aroma, but it's very subdued. Has some Czech saws in it. which gives them a little bit of spiciness and peppery flavors. Also, we also put some actual ground black pepper in this to kind of give it that herbal flavor that we like in this beer. The Bière de Garde, or it's a Bière de Garde is a traditional farmhouse ale from northern France, and it was actually brewed in the winter, I think, for consumption in warm weather. Well, we're getting out of the warm weather, but we're going to drink it anyway. So let's try a drink of it. It's that's good. It's medium bodied. It's malty, but it's not cloyingly sweet. So a nice dry finish, and just right down the middle, kind of malty French ale, which is 8% alcohol and 28 IBUs. Okay, let's moving on again. The 35K. 35K is a milk stout. It's called 35K because we entered a similar beer to this in a yeast competition and won $35,000 for it. About the only money competition I ever seen in my life, but we ended up winning it, so that's cool. So we brought a similar recipe here. Tried that. Milk stout is called a milk stout because of the addition of lactose, and lactose just provides some extra body and sweetness in this beer. So let's try with the smell test. Oh yeah, some nice dark malt, roasted notes, and some coffee and chocolate aromas in there. As you can see, the color, we talked about the color being opaquely black, and that's addition of roasted barley, pretty much, and some chocolate malt as well, which is a barley malt that they kiln at high temperatures, develop a lot of color in them. So let's continue on with the drinking. Yes, this is extremely full-bodied and sweet, but it's not cloyingly sweet. It's just a nice balance. We actually had 25 IBUs in here from the hops, both Nugget and East Kent Golding hops, kind of balance out that remarkable sweetness from the lactose and a large proportion of malt in here. So very nice beer. Hope you enjoy that one. 6.8% alcohol. That's what I'm trying to say, and 25 IBUs in that guy. So what's next here? This would be the Knotty Squirrel, a tribute. It's a tribute to the New Albanian beer Naughty Girl, which is a similar style beer. Anyway, let's take a look at the color. Nice amber color. We can smell it. Okay, oh yeah, oh damn. Okay, well this has of course, high proportion of bit of hops in there because it's an IPA and a Belgian style IPA. In fact, we took an American IPA recipe and pretty much fermented it with Belgian Abbey ale yeast. Has a lot of pale ale malt, some aromatic malt, caramel malts give it caramel sweetness and that nice red color we talked about. And the hops we used were Columbus, Centennial, and Cascade. And to boost the flavor in here, I actually zested 15 grapefruits and 5 lemons to put in here. That's why my hands are so sore most of the time. But we added that to kind of boost that American hop character. But let's try a drink of it. Nice and fruity. Comes from, of course, the Belgian yeast in it, provides that fruity and phenolic flavors. The hops itself provide kind of a citrusy flavors and a healthy dose of bitterness there to kind of cleanse your palate. We also added a little bit of mango and pineapple in here, which you can just barely pick up. Very small proportion, but we just, again, like to boost those hop flavors with some other ingredients that will kind of mimic those flavors. So anyway, nice beer there. 6.5% alcohol and 47 IBUs. Our final beer is the Ledersmoken, which is a smoked Oktoberfest. So we'll try this. We'll give it a smell. Oh yes, it's very, very, very smoky. In fact, we get that smoke flavor from actually smoked malt or smoked barley malt, where they wet down the barley malt and then pass smoke through it, and the smoke flavor clings to the barley malt. We brew with that malt, and the smoke flavor is translated to the finished beer. We will be doing some of our own house smoked malt here, but for the time being, we bought some from Bamberg, Germany. So anyway, see that again, that color, that nice amber, almost deep orange color. So let's give it a drink. So that's very good. It starts out initially very smoky. It gives way to kind of a smooth finish, smooth and malty finish. This is kind of a traditional fest lager. It was originally brewed in Munich, I think, for the Oktoberfest. That smoky flavor really blends well with the nice complex maltiness that we have in this beer, and which is again balanced with some German noble hops of Hallertau tradition and Hallertau Mittelfrüh. So nice beer there. Hope you all enjoyed. It's 6% alcohol and 18.9 IBUs. So that's all 7 beers. Thanks for taking the guided tour, and enjoy.